This is the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and this is the scene at sold-out Everbank Stadium in downtown Jacksonville.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Oh, there's a big hit right away as he's knocked down hard on the opening kickoff.
DC, ready? DC. Ready!
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw is Jackson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
The defense has always talked about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, his first throw in his playoff matchup is intercepted.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
All right, let's go.
They'll run with Edmonds again. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on. Hey, easy. Route. Right
now
open.
Lawrence changing the play.
Here we go. Hey, 2, put it 13, Lou.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Red on red. 11. Silver. 11. Silver.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 13 yards out. And the Jaguars are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game, How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
2nd and 10. Jackson now. Flushed out right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
On first down, Forbes to about the 48-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Forbes. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run on first down. Forbes. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. first quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw to Musgrave. Well, that's good for a first down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end, Parham. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
But it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Flush to his right. He finds his man, complete. That's Fleming. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They go play action with Lawrence. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
11. Go, let's go.
Lawrence. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, I'm gun, red. Go.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Lawrence. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll keep it on the ground. Forbes. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson out to his left. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Trayvon Walker coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
Lisa 24. 30 left.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Take right open.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game.
13 Lou. There we go.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here we go.
It's a throw again is Lawrence. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Odafe Owe. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 41 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Go! Silver!
Back to the ground on 1st down, Edmonds. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
11.
Now Lawrence. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Jags go up by 2 touchdowns. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 9 yards. Not quite enough. And they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Forbes. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Forbes. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Up the middle they go. Forbes. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Play action. Now Jackson rolling to his left. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Jackson. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Forbes. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens get a late score here, the final minute of the first half. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Lion. Think right.
Now Thomas will come in motion right. Here's Lawrence. Looking long for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 68 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Here's Lawrence to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
At their own 6-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their... And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that first half has been rough. And that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
Fielded just inside the 20. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Lisa 24. Go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be, 38 yards out. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
All right, let's go.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Hey, easy. Route. Here we go.
Another carry now for Edmonds. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated.
Great job. 11, Haggett. Go, let's go. Hey, I'm gun. Silver.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They go play action with Jackson. Looking deep here for Flowers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Red on red. Go, go.
Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. Throw caught by Musgrave. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Luke Musgrave, 30 yards. And the Jaguars continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing is Jackson. On the move to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Jags are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
13 Luke.
Play action. It's Lawrence. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. On play action, Lawrence. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Luke Musgrave with now his second touchdown of this third quarter, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now 2nd and 9.
Jackson. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
Lawrence will throw.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They'll come up now, 3rd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Forbes, and he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8.
All right, let's go.
Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 63 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Again, they run with Edmonds. Taken down at the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This is 2nd and 8.
Red on red. Here we go.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, run. Silver.
Now Lawrence to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. 60 yards. And the Jaguars are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's Jackson. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on third down, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Jackson now. They're looking deep here for Flowers. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this is a situation where as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
No, we change it.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Running left, here's Edmonds. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Looking to throw. Going deep for Walker. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take over here up near the 40. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. In motion left is Thomas. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Hey, kill! Take right, open.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Now a give to Edmonds. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So that CD, that was impressive. He got out of 3, maybe 4 tackles there on his way to the end zone.
And a lot of times when you break a tackle or slip a tackle, it actually slows you down. That's what we were taught. If you don't make the play, make him stop his feet so someone else can get there and tackle him. But not here. He just kept right on going.
The extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this fourth quarter. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews.
Complete to Mark Andrews. A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Baltimore.
To throw is Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship.
Hey, Jupiter. Here we go.
Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Jaguars season will continue at least one more week as we say so long, everybody.